Hi everyone, and welcome to a presentation of my favorite musician of all time. Now that is a pretty big bar to set there, but I truly believe that Bill Wurtz is something unique and something that I really want to share with everyone. So to give you a bit of context here, context matters. Bill Wurtz is a professional musician, singer-songwriter. He attended Berklee College of Music. He is most popular on YouTube. He's very unconventional in his genre. When asked on his website what genre he is, he likes to reply with the words regular or normal music, which is just a funny way of saying he is very genre fluid. Most seem to define him as jazz pop, however. There is, unfortunately, no academic research on Bill Wurtz, which automatically, by default, means that I will be getting some points marked off on my bibliography page because I won't have any academic research on him specifically. I will include academic resources, but they'll be on jazz and music in general, sort of just to back up the claims that I'm going to be making in this video when analyzing his tracks. The reason that I'm choosing this and choosing to take a point doc on this is because I truly believe that Bill Wurtz's style and his music has never ever been done before. He is combining aspects of digital music, internet culture, sound design, songwriting styles from all sorts of different decades, all sorts of different genres, and I really think it's something incredibly special that more people need to hear about. And I'd love to analyze his music in a scholarly and professional way in order to kind of show this off. In this presentation, I want to start at the beginning. These jingles that he made were incredibly unique. At the time, he posted them on websites like Vine, which were absolutely perfect for these types of videos, really highlighting the short but sweet mentality and trying to put as much of his unique musical identity into 7 seconds as he possibly could. Most of these, you'll notice, have fluid rhythm, very unique instruments and effects, and they're so uniquely his. You'll see what I mean right away.
It's okay to have feelings. Just wish I could make some music.
Little jazzy chord there, kind of nice.
It's 2015 and I got to go crazy.
Last one.
Got to go downstairs.
Get some weird fluid rhythm effects there at the end. Kind of neat. So you can see through all of this exactly what I'm talking about. We're barely into his music, maybe 28 seconds, and you can already see 4 unique melodies that play with rhythm, they play with theory, they play with effects, and they really embrace modern internet culture. So, moving on, we will talk about his songs. Most of the songs that he released between 2017 and 2018 were actually written between 2008 and 2015. The reason these were written so long ago, but they were only released a few years ago, was because he struggled to produce those songs, even though he had wanted to since he had written them. Bill Wurtz is a completely independent video creator, musician, artist, and so what that means is that he has to learn all of his creative tools himself. So the first single that I wanted to focus on is called I Want to Be a Movie Star. It was one of the early ones that he released in 2017, one of his first, but it has a really unique focus on time signature, and it uses 9/4, at least I believe it's 9/4, that's what I counted, in such a unique way. And it's still poppy, it's still jazzy, but it utilizes this time signature in a way where you can still follow along easily and kind of bob your head. Take a listen. Here it is, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Do you ever feel bad?
It's pretty cool. And it sort of goes along for the entire song. These verses here are not incredibly interesting. Melodically, they are fairly boring. They don't move very much.
I wanna be a movie star.
The chorus picks it up a little bit and really helps move the song along with that ascending, I wanna be a, and then it lands, moo, on the movie star part. I have the song form laid out here. They tease the chorus right at the beginning. Then he does verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2, and then you'll check out this C section right here. I'll skip ahead a little bit. Check out this descending motion that happens here. It's so cool. The chords move with it too. And then back up, ascending, nice. That's really cool, that ascending motion right there. There's a bit of chord modulation there and the key changes a bit, but really it's just those ascending and descending melodies that I think are really fun and help push that section along. Then we hear the verse again, and then the chorus, and then it's out.
Do you like to wear pants?
Again, these lyrics aren't anything special. I think these lyrics are really an example of embracing that just absolutely, bizarre internet culture. Some of that shock value is here. Some of that randomness, some of that, auto-generated kind of stuff. It's all here. It's all baked in to this wonderfully complex musical package. And I think it's just an extra component of it that helps add to its artistic nature. I know that is that's such a funny lyric, and nobody would look at that and go, wow, what a genius. He wrote that. But I really do think that it's part of the art and part of his style. And I think in the context of his style, it's very, very appropriate. Ending on, I believe that's the 5th, so that's kind of neat. Not really resolving it perfectly there at the end. Leaves you wanting more. So we'll move on here to the next one. But yeah, there you go. That's a great introduction there, I think. Just playing with that time signature is just so fun. Moving on here. I am trying to go a little bit fast here because I don't want to run out of time. I'm going to be honest with you, I could spend hours and hours and hours, but for the sake of time, I'm trying to keep it quick, so I'm kind of skipping through these tracks a little bit. The next song is his most popular song right now. It's La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-yo. This is a fairly straightforward jazz pop song. The form is what I think is kind of special here. It plays around with different sections of the song quite a bit, and the section lengths are very fluid. There's moments where he has maybe a 6-bar melody, but he figures out how to stretch it to 8. Or maybe there's a 9-bar and he squishes it to 8. You'll kind of see what I mean here. Most of those happen as the sections are moving. So it's in between a verse and a chorus, in between a pre-chorus and a chorus, or in between a chorus and a solo.
I don't have enough time to say the things I want to say, to do the things I want to do, or to be like you. I just want some time to express the things I feel.
So here we're in that A section still.
And believe them too. 2 plus
I still technically consider this the A section. This melody isn't moving very much, very static. Here's the B section.
Lord, I want to write a song.
So you'll notice here we already moved chords. I believe it's already starting this modulation. And also this keyboard lick right here is just so fun.
I want to write a song. Oh, baby, is that just so wrong? And it goes like...
So this is really, really cool here. This is a technique that Bill Wurtz uses in a lot of his songs. I didn't know anything about theory when I first discovered him, but because of him, I got into theory. Something that I learned and something that he really likes to use is he'll modulate and he'll really toy with the key, and he'll really go, far from home with the key. And then to bring it back, he'll just play a fifth above whatever the returning key he wants to go to is. And you'll hear that right here.
Is that just so wrong?
5, 1. Just like that.
Where did all the good times go? When will you come?
I'm not sure where we are here, but it's another modulation. I really like this walk up here with the chords.
When will you come back?
Very cool.
Home?
That's an example of those fluid sections there. One of these things where he's kind of squishing it a little bit, which is really fun, really cool. I've also laid out, the key it's in, the time signature, and the instrumentation. If you listen, there's so many different instruments in here. One of the cool things that it uses here, this is a verse section, so I'll talk over it. One of the cool things that's utilized in here is a ton of lead instruments, which is also not very common in modern music. Loads of synths are used, but the switching of the leads is really fun. You'll notice little jingles like he started with. Those jingles are kind of making their way into his songwriting at different points and reflecting themselves as lead instruments in these different sections, and they help push these fluid sections a bit. Check out this keyboard solo here. This is section D. Incredible. Really, really neat solo. It's the same chorus chords that whole time, but he just layers that keyboard over. It's not following the vocal melody at all, but it is making up its own ascending and descending motion that really pushes that solo along. Here's the chorus again. We're in C1 here. Check this out right here. So there's the part where he squishes, I believe, 9 into 8. Or maybe that's where he extends 7 to 8. What he does there is he cuts out a minor chord that he plays at the end here. That one. And he cuts it out so that the motion feels like it's continuing to move. It's really, really cool. I forgot to pause before the outro there, but this outro is just incredibly unique. It's one of the things that helps solidify his special genre, I guess. Listen to it here. It's very odd. It has some ambiance. It has some atonality. It's like spoken word. It's very weird.
When will you come back home? Just got home. Got no home. La-di-da-di-di, where did it go? Oh no, I can't go home.
Yeah, fairly unique there. Lastly, we come to Mount St Helens is About to Blow Up. This one I believe to be the most jazzy of all of the ones that I've shown. And it just plays with modulation so much. It's very, very cool. This, along with La Di Da Di Da Di Da Deo, was a song that really made me want to learn theory and really what makes music, like the, how do you say it, building blocks of music. And I felt like this was a perfect song to really deconstruct and take a look at the building blocks that make it up. And you'll see exactly what I mean when you hear it here.
Mount St Helens is about to blow up, and it's gonna be a fine, swell day. Everything's gonna fall down to the ground and turn gray.
Already completely modulated. That key of G, I believe, goes down, descending motion into a flat, I believe. So cool. This chord movement is just already perks your ears as a listener, really gets you involved. When I first heard this, I had to know what in the world was going on here.
everything's gonna fall down to the ground and turn gray.
Oh, it's so good. There's that fifth, back to G. Very classic.
But me, I'm feeling curious, so I think I just might stay.
That ends the first verse there. It starts again. It's the exact same chords, and you'll hear the exact same modulation as well. Since you've heard this already, I'll talk over it. Bill Wurtz has an interview where he talks about this song, and he talks about how one of the coolest things that you can do in music is play really nice melody, but use sort of ominous lyrics. This song is about, a world catastrophe, this sort of apocalyptic situation. And yet the music and the structure and the stylistic choices and the theory and everything that's making this song up is all meant to make the audience feel good and meant to make the audience feel like they want to be a part of this universe and come along for the ride. He does that with all these modulations that help the song movement. He does that with the instrumentation, the major key, everything here is just, it's inviting, it's satisfying, and it makes you want to be here, even though Mount St Helens is blowing up. Check out this B section here. This is really unique. This is where we hear this 2-5-1 for the first time. The key changes, so it's a new key. And the way that we exit this bridge here, this B section, is really unique. It's a chromatic shift, just a half step down. And if you listen to it, it's just so, again, inviting and satisfying. Check it out.
We're just gonna have to throw them all away and slip into something more reasonable and then dance the night away. I'm riding a pony into the sunset. Everything's
2,
clean and gold,
5,
so I'm not in
1,
hell yet. And the
2,
people working my
5,
office went on vacation,
modulate.
'cause they say that I haven't been paying them very much.
Here comes the chromatic. Chromatic.
Mount St.
1,
Helens
back
has
to the
a pretty
1.
cool gift shop, and I haven't been there in a while.
Here we hear another verse. It's
And I've been
the exact same,
if it's even
except
there.
that modulation is different. Instead of going to A flat like it does at the beginning, I believe this goes back down to E flat, which I'm pretty sure is the root of the bridge, which is a callback. It's just another unique thing where it reminds the listener, hey, we've already been here, but we're still moving. It keeps the song movement. It gives me chills thinking about it. It's so cool, this movement and this theoretical choice here.
In a while, and I've been wondering if it's even still there.
Back to 1. There.
It's been changing, soon it's gonna change more. And we'll figure out all of the details in climate change court. Take a ride on my blimp.
Here we are back to the bridge. 2, 5,
It's a very
1.
strong blimp.
1,
You can watch
2,
movies and play
5,
games while riding
1.
on it.
You'll hear this bridge is a little different. That's why I mentioned that here in the form. We're hearing a little bit more of that electric piano. This drum kit's kind of broken down a little bit. And it's more of this ominous sort of realization like, okay, we're going to be on a blimp. The music's starting to reflect that just a little bit.
The sun goes down and the sky burns out. We'll never slow down. Oh, we're not going down.
That ascending motion right there in the, I believe that's an electric piano, is so cool to me. It really helps make it feel like this blimp is taking off and lifting off. Listen to it again real quick here. You get a brief ascending motion in the mid-range of the piano, and then it's a higher range.
And the sky burns out.
There's the mid-range. Here's the high one right here.
Oh, we're not going down. Mount St. Helens is feeling crazy.
5 and then 1 back to landed in the root.
And that it's so special.
And then here we're back in the chord progression. Sorry, I'm like yelling into the mic. And then here we're back into the chord progression of the bridge, but it's forever stuck in this 2-5, which makes you feel like you are forever stuck in the blimp that's carrying you over the world of Mount St. Helens. It's so cool. This is such a creative and wonderful choice, I feel like, to end it here. And he's still using all these lyrics and these theoretical choices to make you feel like you want to be here, like you want to be in this world. Here's a little synthesizer, a little saw wave, a little trombone. Another synthesizer. And that's it. The song fades out like that. Yeah, I could go on and on. I get so amped up about stuff like this. This is just the coolest little package here. Ending on that 2-5 modulation. You never really get to hear it resolve. Here, look, it just fades out. You never hear it resolve. It's just like you're flying away forever. That basically brings me to the end of the presentation. I really wanted to just show off Bill Wurtz here, and I hope that I did that well. I really believe Bill Wurtz to be something special, a person who's utilizing musical elements in a very creative way to create his very, very own clear identity. I personally think that if you listen to, a couple tracks by him, even just his music without having any of the visual elements, really shows off that clear identity. You can listen to just a few seconds and know right away, oh, this is Bill. Blending that pop, but jazz, but kind of internet, just wacko. The lyrics being just absolutely absurd. Very, very clear identity. Very cool. The ultimate be yourself musician, not following trends. I think this is really cool. A lot of famous people, you'll hear them say, be yourself, just do your own thing. But how many times do we see people getting famous because they're the next, Miles Davis, or they're the next Herbie Hancock, or they're the next Beatles, But I really believe that Bill Wurtz is really himself, which is very cool. I think he's underrated. And to me, he's incredibly inspiring. This is a guy who I would love to be like one day, in my own musical styles. And that's it. That's the end. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I hope you appreciated the musicality of Bill Wurtz and got something out of this presentation. If you're interested in the sources, those are all included in my bibliography, which includes everything for this presentation that was mentioned. Okay, thank you for watching, and goodbye.